Hello. So this one's going to be kind of a brief overview of general spiritual concepts and how to interpret them and whether or not you should spend your time interpreting them. Now let me just be clear. All the ancient traditions and all the modern traditions and all these concepts are wonderful. And if you enjoy thinking of the world and thinking of yourself through a certain lens, then you should do that and enjoy that. Whatever facilitates a return to your own being. That's just the phrasing I would use. But really, there's so many different concepts and terminology that people have developed over time, and I just want to read some of them to you. We have non-duality, oneness. You have the idea of the Brahman, Tao, the Godhead, the observer and the observed, awareness. You have consciousness is fundamental. You have the idea of pure being, the witness, spirit, matter. You have the idea of emptiness, no self, the absolute and the relative. You have the unmanifest and the manifest. You have the logos, vibration, Maya, the illusion, emanation, the Atman, the soul, essence, true self, the Christ within, the Buddha nature, spark of divinity, ego, identification, the constructed me, samskaras, the false self, the persona, the shadow, karma, inner divinity, I am consciousness, the kingdom of heaven within, original face before birth. These are all just many different interpretations of the truth, and also ways that the mind breaks up an idea of a pathway and an idea of different ways to interpret this truth and conceptualize it. Some more are perception and projection, the world as a mirror, the mind creates reality. You have the suffering, misidentification, craving and avoidance, the veiling of the self, dissolution, surrender, letting go, non-resistance, gnosis, purification, alchemy, transmutation of the lower to the higher, shadow integration, inner work, presence, stillness, the eternal now, samadhi, the flow state. You have chakras, subtle anatomy, kundalini, planes of existence, the idea of physical, astral, and casual planes, heaven realms, angels, devas, archetypes, demons, higher intelligences, aspects of the one mind, platonic forms. You have astrology, archetypal dynamics, as above, so below, celestial patterns as mirrors of inner states. You got sacred geometry, you have the golden ratio, you have numerology, gematria, all the sort of number cycles that we are aware of. You have meditation, contemplation, witnessing, mantra, self-inquiry, devotion, love of the divine, surrender to the one, prayer. You have ethical alignment, dharma, Tao, virtue, right action. You have ritual, ceremony, symbolic encoding, alchemical rites, sacraments, breath work, energy work, pranayama, chi cultivation, kriya yoga, mystical insight, revelation, prophetic consciousness. I skipped a few. There's so many, right? And I'm going to keep going. Awakening, enlightenment, recognition of the self, returning to source, remembrance, illumination, seeing through the illusion, light of consciousness, inner radiance, dark night, ego death, purging, spiritual crisis, the void, union, samadhi, non-dual absorption, mystical marriage. You have karma, correspondence, resonance, law of cause and effect, law of polarity, yin-yang, dual manifestations of one essence, hermetic principles, seasons of consciousness, yugas, alchemical stages. These are kind of rhythmic laws of cycles, law of unity, all is one, divine source of all forms. You have the idea of initiation, threshold crossing, tests and purifications. You have the idea of mystery schools. You have the idea of stages of consciousness, chakras, spiral dynamics. You have purpose, dharma, calling. I think I already mentioned dharma, some others. Soul mission, destiny versus free will, sacred contracts, compassion and service, bodhisattva path, Christ consciousness, serving the one through the many. The idea of liberation, moksha, nirvana, kingdom of God, self-realization, knowing yourself as the one, God knowing itself through you, embodied divinity, living as a self, non-dual action, enlightened creativity, return to source, merging back into the infinite, and the drop realizing it is the ocean. So all of these things which I just listed are all different interpretations at different levels of thought. None of them are better or worse than the other. There's no duality here. There is if you want to with your mind, but you don't have to. All of these words that I just read to you are just merely reflections of your own being and your own self, and the way that yourself has remembered itself throughout history in different forms, through different people, through different leaders and teachers, and all these different concepts ultimately share a linkage of the meaning behind them, which is that your being, your presence, is fundamental. It is the ground which all experiences arise from. And the more you rest as your own presence, your own being, the more that the peace of your being, the fulfillment of your being, illuminates yourself and everything around you. I like to use the terminology of know thyself because it's very direct, and it's very intimate as well. Instead of asking you to seek something outside of you, I want you to know yourself. And then you will learn that everything outside of you is really within you. So I hope this video helped. Just kind of an overview of all these beautiful concepts that we use to encapsulate the truth and to break it up into little bits and different ways to interpret it. Like I said, all these traditions have a root in the being that you are, and they're all there just to guide you back home to yourself, where you've never left, but just to remind you of yourself. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I love you.